How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some really important information about the upcoming Imperial hand-in system update, which before I get into the information, I do need to talk about very briefly. So in their last stream, Shona and Trent did mention that the reason we haven't got the Imperial update, even though they want to give it to us, they haven't been able to give it to us because some of the rewards in the Imperial updated Imperial hand-in system is directly linked to Manos gear. You actually get Manos gear as some rewards. So that's why we haven't got it. So this tells me that we have to wait maybe 3 months as of the recording of this video, because according to the roadmap, if everything goes to schedule, we're getting Manos in roughly 3 months from now. So it is a bit of a wait time, but they did say they want to give it to us. And there are definitely workarounds. A quick one that I can easily think of is, well, instead of giving us instead of the reward giving us a Manos accessory or whatever, let's just go for example to make it easy to translate. Let's say the reward is giving us a Manos earring. Right now, instead of getting a Manos earring, we can just get an earring token. Then, when the Manos update comes out, we can trade these tokens in for Manos gear. One of the issues that this provides, if you were to go through this method that I just explained without enforcing any restrictions, would be players like myself, if we were to do hand-ins every single day and stay on top of it, that have very high contribution points, would then on day one be able to exchange in our tokens for a lot of Manos gear, which can be perceived as unfair and can have bad effects on the central market. So to then go around this problem is you can just simply enter a restriction for the number of tokens that you hand in every single day, and that would go around the issue pretty well. So you can control the drip, the number of Manos gear that players can get per day by putting these restrictions in on the tokens that they've already received. So that way they can steadily recuperate their tokens every single day. Therefore, they're not getting huge bulk amounts of Manos gear come into their accounts on day one of release. That's just one simple solution I can think of. I'm sure there's many more creative ones that they can come up with as well. So that being said, let me go through this table. So this Excel sheet here. I'm going to show you guys how easy it is for you to change a couple of cells to be able to make this Excel sheet give the information that's directly relevant to you and what you're doing and what you want to do. Okay? Before I show you how to do that, let me give you guys some important information. Tell you guys the important information this Excel sheet provides. So it provides the user, it tells the user the number of days it's going to take for them to shift all their guru boxes. It's also going to tell the user the value each of these boxes are worth to the vendor. So every single guru box, if your mastery level was X, what would be the silver you'd get for that guru box? It's then also going to tell you the amount of silver that you can make every single day, depending on obviously your contribution points and the value of the box. It's also going to let you know the amount of stored silver that you have. So the more mastery you have, the more money that you're obviously going to make. So very crucial pieces of information there to give you guys an idea of your actual real net value of the products in your storage, depending on your mastery. Now, it's also going to give you some other really crucial information. So this information is actually more for, this information here is more for people that just want to buy and sell. So buy from the central market and sell to the Imperial vendor. This information is crucial for you. Now, what it does is it lets you know the actual price of the meal in a guru box when sold to the vendor. So this means that if you were to buy from the central market, anything under the value that's in this box, obviously as the mastery goes up, the more value you have. So if you were to buy a Balanos meal right now, and that Balanos meal in the central market was valued at lower than 43,000 silver, you will be making a profit. If it was valued at exactly 42,299 silver, you'd be breaking even. So anything underneath that value, you'd be making a profit. The bigger the difference, the more profit you're making. So this is really key information for people that don't want to go through the strains of gathering and or buying materials from the central market and cooking them. They just want to get straight net gains by just buying and selling. Normally, players that do this probably won't have very high mastery, so you're probably going to be looking at this area here. Maybe anything up until here is more relevant for you guys. So this lets you know at what prices you can be just, oh, well, these four here, you could just buy and sell. Now, that's for people that just want to buy and convert and sell to the vendor. People that have already crafted a crap ton of meals, like people like myself, you can see I've crafted over 240,000 different variety of meals. So people like me, this information is going to be more useful to you. So this lets you know the amount or the value that the meal needs to be on the central market for you as a player to sell and make the same amount of silver as you would from selling the meal to the vendor. So all it's doing is saying that if, let's say, let me give you an example of myself. So for me, with 1,000 mastery, if the value of a Valencia meal on the central market is around the 65,000 silver mark, that means if I sell it for that amount, I'm actually getting 56,000 silver in return, which is the value that it would be if I was to sell it to the vendor. So that's really important. Obviously, these are really, I'll be very surprised if meals ever hit this value on the central market, but let's just give you an idea of if it does happen, you now know what the value is that you're looking for. So when it hits that value, you can be like, okay, I can now actually get the same amount of money as I would have gotten from selling to the vendor, but I can now reduce the number of days. I can get that money instantly. Well, I'll say instant, however long it takes for you to sell the meal on the central market. So I can reduce the number of waiting days that I have to actually sell to the vendor. So that's very important information as well. So that's what this information represents. And let me show you guys how you can easily edit this table, edit these numbers. Just a couple of numbers that you have to edit here, 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 and here. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By editing 10 cells, you can add all this information will be automatically changed for you to be able to represent something that's more appropriate for what you're doing. So most simplest one you can do is just enter your contribution points here. So, ooh, wrong button. So if let's say you have 300 contribution points, bam, you enter it. So now, without changing any other information, just to show you this effect that it would have, it would increase the number of days it will take you to sell the boxes, since you can hand in less boxes per day. Because you can hand in less boxes per day, this means you're decreasing the amount of silver you're making per day. But your total silver is the same. So it will just take you longer to reach that goal. If you have less contribution points and you have more contribution points, you'd reach that goal faster. So that's all that number does, but just enter whatever it is that you have. Now, this one I'm going to go over a little bit later on, but all this is the base price of the Guru box, but I'll come back to this in a minute. If you're not using Guru, if you want to check values for other boxes, I'll show you what you guys need to do in just a moment. But yeah, we'll come back to this one in a moment. So over here, let's say you're not using Balanos meals, right? Let's say you're using Medaya meals here instead. Change this to Medaya meal. This will also change what's it called? This will also change this, but you would also have to change this to special Medaya meal. So there's two changes you need to make. There we go. So let's say you're doing Medaya meal. So you change the names here to Medaya. All the corresponding names will change for you. You might have to just resize the cells so you can see it. Obviously, you're going to have to also change the conversion. So what you're going to need to do, I'll have this linked below. Just come to this website here. Find the Medaya meal. So we come down to Guru box recipes. We find the Medaya meal, which is here. And we enter 15 and 5. So just by doing that, all this information here, all this information here is going to change for you automatically. So really, really simple process, easy to do. But let me just change everything back to what it was before, to Balanos meals. So that's what you need to do there. And then Obviously, just enter whatever it is. So once you change the name, just make sure you enter whatever you have in your storages, and this will calculate the number of boxes, and then this will calculate the number of days to sell those boxes, and then it will calculate your total number of days. Now, feel free to check my calculations if you would like. I'm pretty confident that they're all correct, but if they're not, please do let me know. This spreadsheet is going to be available for you guys to edit online. Well, to download online and edit in on your private computer. And just remember that this is mathematics. There are plenty of formulas that you can use to get to the same answer. So just because you're using a different formula doesn't mean my calculations are incorrect. Please make sure you follow through to check your final answer. If your final answer is the same as mine, it doesn't matter how we got there. The fact is that the end location is correct. Okay, so that being said, let's get back to this. I was 386, not 286. I thought that that number was a bit off. So by changing this information here, it's going to change that. Now remember I said I'm going to come back to this, so let's look at this one now. So this base selling price 800K is a representation for guru boxes. So if you come to this website here, you can see that 800K is guru boxes. Well, if you're looking at a different type of box, so let's say you're more looking at the professional boxes of 300K, all you got to do is take that 300,000 and plug it in to here. This will change this price here. Like, if you really want to know why this number is important, these percentage buffs are based on this base price, not this price here. So that's why it's important for this number to be calculated, because it's required for this calculation here to get you the true value of your box. There's always a 250% base buff to the what's it called? To this price to give you the actual selling price. So that's why it's important. So let me give you guys a complete thorough example now of how to change everything. So let's say it's your account. Your account has 260 contribution points total. So the first thing you do is enter 260 contribution points in here. Next thing, let's say you're looking at doing professional cooking boxes, and you're looking at selling couscous and fish fillet salad. Okay, so come over here. Let's just change this to course. Change this to course, and then change this to fish, change this to fish. Oh, I should put special fish, not just fish. Okay, so now we've changed all our titles. Next thing we need to do is change these values. So for the couscous, it's 18 and 6. So we come in here, we put 18, come down, we put 6. And then for the fish, it's 24 and 8. So 24, 8, there we go. Then come enter your values in. So let's say you've got 75,000. I'm just going to do round numbers for here. 75,000 here and 10,000 there for your couscous. And for your fish, let's say you got 150,000. And you got 30,000. So that's what you have in your storages. This is the meal that you're looking for. These are the conversion rates for your meal. Make sure you change this price. So whatever the value is here, make sure you enter that value into this box. So previously we had it on 800. So on default, when you get it, it's going to be on 800,000. You'd have to change this to 300,000. There you go. You've entered your contribution points. Now this is going to let you guys know that if you were to have these meals, it would take you 136 days to hand them in because of your contribution points. Now, if you had more contribution points, this number would drastically decrease. It would go to 101 days if you had 350 contribution points. And then that will let you know that you've got 5.6. So let's say you're at 500 mastery, or let's say yeah, 550 mastery. You got 5.8 billions worth of silver stored up in your foods, and it will take you roughly 3 months and change, like 3.5 months, to be able to retrieve that 5.8 billion silver. And during those 3 months, if you don't want to do any cooking, you don't have to do any cooking. Or if you just want to cook and sell to the central market, if you really enjoy that life skill, you can just cook to sell to central market, and then that is your stored away, easy money that's guaranteed to come into your pocket. So that's easy ways that you can change. That you can change these values here to match what you have on your account. So that being said, I'm going to finish re-editing all this to be back to what it should be. That should give you guys a good idea how to use it. This will give you really important information, so make sure you take advantage of that. And I hope this video has been helpful. Like I said, if you guys do find yourself coming back to my channel a lot, do consider leaving a subscription. If you liked the video, do leave a like. If there's any more information that you want to ask me, please let me know in the comment section down below. If there's any comments you want to make, any mistakes I've made, just leave them in the comments down below as well. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.